Hello and welcome back to the channel, but just in case you're new here, my name is Mike, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Season 1, Episode 1 of the television series Chucky. I will be reviewing the whole season. I'm a little bit late to the game, I've been super busy, but this will be Episode 1, and I will review and upload Episode 2 this Sunday, and then going forward every weekend will be the next episode all through the first season, and hopefully more to come after that. But enough of that shit, let's slice right into it. So I'm a pretty positive guy, you know what I'm saying? I like to be positive and I like to talk about good things. So let's start off with the positives. Everything that I liked about episode 1 with Chucky. Now, the first thing that really jumped out to me with the TV series that I really enjoyed was the look of Chucky. I thought the animatronics, the doll, everything was right on point, at least so far in the episode. I know in the trailer there were some parts where he looked a little skimp, but so far he looks really good. The way he moves around, the way his eyes are moving, his mouth is moving. Down in the basement when he looks up at the father for the first time and kind of comes to life, I thought was really well done. I really like the ventriloquist act that they did in the talent show, how Chucky looked and moved in that scene. So overall, Chucky as the doll, the animatronics, the puppet, how he's moving, so far I actually really enjoy it, and I think they're doing a really good job at that. Another thing I really enjoy about the TV series was the pacing with Chucky himself. Now, obviously, when you have a franchise and you have new content coming out in any film format, a TV series or movie, you always have to go into it expecting that there's going to be people that are going to watch it that have never seen this content before. They didn't cater or placate to anyone that hasn't seen Chucky. It's not like the whole first episode, Chucky never moved. Is he alive? Is he not? It pretty much got right into it. We all know Chucky's alive. We all know he's Charles Lee Ray. We all know his story. Just get to it. I want to see Chucky kill people. And he does. And he does it pretty fast, too. So I really enjoyed the pacing of it. They didn't drag their feet and play the what-if game. That, you know, there was no need for that. There's been how many, 6 or 7 movies in the franchise and now a television show? We don't need to drag our feet. Let's just get into it. And I felt they did that pretty well. Another big positive for me in this TV show was Devon Sawa. We knew he was going to be in the series, and we also knew that he was going to be portraying 2 different characters. And I think he did a really good job. That dinner table scene, that intense dinner table scene where they're all sitting and they're eating dinner together, and it's very awkward and very intense. I thought Devon did a phenomenal job at playing both of his roles very well. I feel like we're supposed to kind of like the uncle, but not know a lot about him yet. And hey, nailed it. And I also feel like we were supposed to hate the dad. And let me tell you, nailed it, because I was texting 2 friends during the premiere of Chucky. During the commercial breaks, we would text back and forth, and I told both of them, I said, I hate the fucking dad. I hope he dies. I hated the dad. I hated him. But, just like in professional wrestling, if you're playing a heel, you want to be hated. And he did the dad character so well that you actually hated him and you felt for Jake. And I think that he did a very good job. Love him or hate him, he did a great job. He played those performances well. And the way they pulled off the double scene at the table was actually super cool as well. And I really enjoyed that. And keeping it right in sequence with Devon Sawa and his performance, I also really liked the emotion in episode 1. Now, going into this, if you followed this series as closely as I did with all the promotion and all the interviews and all the articles that were posted and read every single thing leading up to this because you're a diehard like me, then you probably already know this. But Don Mancini wanted you to scream, he wanted you to laugh, but he also wanted people to cry. Now, I'm not saying I cried, I didn't even get emotional, but the scene where, the whole scene, it's kind of like one long scene, but when the dad is arguing with Jake, and he's pretty much upset with Jake's sexuality. He doesn't point blank outright say it, but you know he hates it and can't stand it, and he gets physical with his son, and Jake goes up, or the father goes upstairs with the baseball bat and destroys all of Jake's belongings, or his statues that he made, his collections, you know, his art. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Hey, when he destroys his son's art, It was a really, really emotional scene and a really gripping scene that honestly I can't think of another scene like that in the entire franchise that was that gripping and emotional, and I thought they did that super, super well, and I really enjoyed that, and I hope we get more of that to come in the franchise. Another great, like, super awesome positive for Season 1, Episode 1, I felt, and probably going forward, is Jake Wheeler himself. The actor that portrays him does a great job. All the performances are really good. But him specifically as a character, I thought they did a really good job at setting him up right from the get-go. They could have just thrown him in and said, here's Jake, he's gay, and he finds Chucky. We didn't get that, though. They show you, okay, they present to you Jake. You know he's 14. He is gay. He's a little bit of an outcast. He lost his mom. He wants to be an artist like his mom. He displays his art and passions through dolls. You see his school life. You see his relationship with his cousin. Like, they show you a lot of different things about Jake in the first episode that keep you intrigued and also plants little seeds of things to sprout later on, be it like his relationship to other family members and things of that nature. You know, even his relationship with Chucky and how that's going to all unfold. We'll talk more about that later. But I think that Jake as a character is really, really well done. And to be honest with you, I don't want to say identify, but I relate and I am more attached to Jake, the character, more so than I ever have been the Jesse or Jade or Tyler. I am way more attached to Jake as a character already in the first episode than I am some of the other characters we've had in the franchise that I felt like were just throwaways. I think Jake Wheeler, from the writing, from the character to the performance and the actor portraying him, I think it's very well done, and it's a huge, huge positive for me thus far in the Chucky TV series, for sure. And of course, one of the biggest positives about the episode so far in the season, probably as a whole, everyone knows it, everyone says it, it's Brad Dourif and his performance as Chucky. That voice performance is so iconic every time he does it. I personally feel like he's never given us a bad performance as Chucky. Maybe there's been some, not lazy, but more tired lines throughout the franchise. You'd have to go back and really, with a fine-tooth comb, and kind of dig through it. And I'm not about to do all that. All I know is Chucky sounds like Chucky, and Brad Dourif did a great job. His voice performance, he nailed it like he always does. Rounding out the positives for me, at least the ones that I want to say on camera. We can get more in-depth and stuff in live streams and whatnot. But one big positive that I loved is, look, all right, we know Nika is in the TV show. We know Andy is in the TV show. We know Kyle is in the TV show, right? We know these people are in the TV show. Andy was on the phone, obviously we know that. But he didn't give us all these characters at once in the first episode and shove them all down our throat right away and say, here they are, here they are, here they are, here they are. I want to be able to see episode 3, 4, 5, 6, to see people come back and see where their storylines are going. Jennifer Tilly, of course, Tiffany, she's in it, right? He didn't give us, I know she had the cameo in the beginning, but he didn't give us all these characters at once, and I really appreciate that it's spread out throughout the season to give us more surprises, and we don't get everything at once. They didn't come in here and just blow their load right in the beginning. Let's move on. And of course, we have to move over into the land of negatives. Now, the negatives I had with this episode, there's not a lot, but they are a little bit on the bigger side of things, and it's more so character flaws than anything else. My first negative about it was the first big kill of the season. I didn't really like too much. Now, I know, maybe Don Mancini loves electrocuting people. It's one of his favorite things to do in his movies, and that's super cool. Electrocution deaths are fun, but out of all the times Chucky's electrocuted people, I feel like this is one of the ones that just didn't really work for me. Also, the one in Curse, when he kicks over the water, the girl on the laptop, I didn't really like that one either. But this one in particular, talking about the TV series, I didn't really care for this kill very much. It's never going to make one of my greatest kills lists. I mean, a little bit the way it was shot, a little bit the stiff in the acting, which I think is what would happen. So I think it's true to that. But spitting up all the whiskey, just everything about it, I just didn't think the kill was that great, especially being the first kill, the first big kill to kick off the season. I really didn't feel like it was that great of a kill for me personally, so it kind of landed on the negative side of things. But probably my biggest problem, my biggest gripe with the television series so far is it's kind of a part one and a part two. They go hand in hand, all right? It's ultimately Chucky himself and the way they portray his character. I obviously have no problem with the representation in this film. I understand it. I respect it. You know what I mean? Anyone that wants to put their life or their passion into their work, I have no problem with that. Hell, like I said, I even admire it. But Chucky, Charles Lee Ray, as a character, I don't know why he is so, why he's so supportive of Jake, and even above that, why Chucky is so like anti-bullying and he's defending Jake. Last time I checked, the Lakeshore Strangler is not against bullying. I think that's kind of a character flaw, right? Like, I understand bullying is something that needs to be stopped in this country. I understand that we need to take responsibility and we need to wipe out bullying entirely. I understand that. I have been on that end of bullying myself. I have been bullied before when I was growing up. I understand it. I can relate to that. Like I said earlier, relating to Jake as a character, I understand bullying, but at the same time, if you want to have like an anti-bully campaign PSA, I'm not so sure he's the guy to do it. You know what I mean? As a character, I just don't understand that. People say, "Oh, Chucky's against bullying." I've been seeing that in comments on like Facebook and stuff. Really? How soon we forget? Roll the footage, please.
What kind of a name is that? Where are your mother and father?
Judging from that face, my guess is they're hiding.
Shut up, you asshole.
Well, come on. It looks like the kid fell off the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. I mean, you gotta feel bad for the parents. I wonder what they must look like.
That right there just clearly shows you, I mean, Chucky bullied his own child. So I don't think he's against bullying. So the 180 in Chucky's character, just a character that's been, a character that has been created and established for over 25 years, just does a 180 like this, and all of a sudden he's this guy now. I'm just not buying that. You know what I mean? I'm just personally not buying it. Now, granted, it could all be a ploy, or there could be a bait and switch in the end of the season. Maybe he's just using Jake, and we're not sure yet. So it could all turn back over. It could flip to the other side. But as of right now, I'm solely judging this based on what we see. And so far, it seems out of character for Chucky, and I'm not really digging that at all. And going hand in hand with that, the part two to this is the whole relationship between Jake and Chucky. I just don't know where it's coming from. For instance, why does Chucky give a shit about Jake? Why does Chucky sympathize with Jake? Why is Chucky sticking up for Jake? Why wouldn't he just kill him? Like, what's the whole thing here? Like, why does Chucky give a shit about this kid? The only time I feel like we ever saw Chucky be sympathetic and buddy-buddy with a kid is if he was going to take their soul, like he did with Allison? God, I can't remember. In Curse of Chucky, or Andy and Tyler in the first three films, but obviously he was going to transfer his soul into them because it was the forgotten lore of the first person he reveals himself to. He has to transfer. So obviously that's been done away. I think we kind of lost that somewhere along the line in the films, but ultimately, I don't understand why Chucky gives a shit about this kid. Now, like I said, granted, this could all come to light later in the season, and I'll be like, oh my god, that was so genius, and Chucky will do like a heel turn again, and it'll all make sense. That's very, very possible. But even Jake's side of things, right? He gets the phone call from Andy. Hey man, don't trust that doll. Check his batteries. Checks the batteries. He does the research online. He clearly knows Chucky's a killer. Chucky kills his father. And even more so kills Jake's cat. And Jake almost doesn't seem to give a rat's ass. Like, he just doesn't seem to care. He's just kicking it with Chucky. Like in the in the preview for next week's episode, he's just talking with Chucky and they're just kind of kicking it and getting to know each other. I felt like that's a little unrealistic. Jake should be a little bit more scared, a little more hesitant, and a little bit more what the fuck with Chucky. They shouldn't be so chummy right out the gate. And I don't know why Chucky's being chummy to begin with. Obviously, this is all building towards something. Their relationship is going to mean something. I just don't know what it is right now. So right now it's a negative because it comes off as unrealistic and it comes off as confusing. But as the season goes on and the episodes continue to roll out, I think we will get a bigger picture of what's happening between the two, and it'll probably end up being a positive and be off of my negative list. But I'm basing this solely off of episode 1 and what we have seen so far. So ultimately, it's a negative just because I don't understand it and I don't know what the hell's going on. But I'm really excited to see where that's going to go, so hopefully it can give me some clarity in the end. Well, there you have it, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed my review for Season 1, Episode 1 of Chucky, Death by Misadventure. Now, I am going to keep doing these. I'm going to keep doing these, you guys. As I said, Sunday will be Episode 2 review, and then every weekend after that will be the next episode in order. I'm just a little bit far behind because I've been super busy. But I am looking forward to what's next. But even more so than that, I'm looking forward to what each and every one of you think. If you can put your thoughts down below about this video and about the Chucky TV series in general, Episode 1. What are you guys feeling out there? Let me know because I want to know. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram for a more personal look at my life of horror, you could do so right there. And if you want to talk with other like-minded individuals about anything horror related and you want a safe, fun place to gather and talk and discuss and geek out about all things horror, we created a place for you to do that very thing. Log on to your Facebook account and type in, "This is our design, HC." My wife or myself will accept you right away, and you can start talking some bloody good shit. So, with all that being said, I want to say thank you all so very much for watching, and this is my design.